Hey friends, Tony Tone Lokensoul with MPW. Welcome back to another installment of a Muscatine Moment filmed inside the studios here at Muscatine Community College. I just want to give a quick shout out and a thank you to Jeremy Ferguson, who is behind the scenes making this happen. And things like this don't happen without people like Jeremy, so shout out to Jeremy and thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. And we have a couple of special guests. They're going to talk about an event that's coming up in a few weeks. So with the Muscatine Fire Department, we have firefighter Craig Shelf right here. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, sir.
And then with the Muscatine Police Department, we have Sergeant Jeff DeVries is here. How are you, sir?
Good to see you. Good.
It's been a minute since maybe we've done something like this, but I'll tell you what, I always enjoy the public safety open house. You guys on the fire department, you got a big banner on top of it. So, Craig, let's walk through when it's happening, what time, and just some past years' experiences, things that you know that go well, because you guys get a great turnout. If you're watching this and you haven't gone, you got to make plans to go.
So I've been part of the open house now for about 8 years. We been doing it for many years prior to that.
Yeah.
We're doing it here October 5th, on Sunday, October 5th, between noon and 3. Mm-hmm. We enjoy having all the kids come out. It's a good chance for the community to get involved and see what we do behind the scenes. There's a lot of people, all they see is us in vehicles flying around town, lights and sirens, and we're real excited about it this year.
And I feel like Sergeant DeVries, you guys do, and I know it kind of starts at the top with expectations of, we talk about community policing, and this would fit into that, right? You want people to have a good relationship and to have, and nothing better is than seeing kids at events like this interact with police, fire, sheriff's office. But talk about that from the police perspective, why a public safety open house event is important.
Yeah, we the last few years, we've really made an attempt to increase our involvement in the community and really getting that image across that police are approachable. Mm-hmm. People of all ages, you can come up and have a normal conversation with us. You can see us as humans and everything as well. That's why we've seen an increase in our different programs as well as continuing the open house.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, my father's a retired Chicago police officer. So policing has been a part of my life as long as I can remember. But in the 13 years that I've been in Muscatine, I feel like, and I'm not just saying this because these guys are here, but I do genuinely feel like public safety, you guys all do a great job with community outreach. We're just on the heels of another super successful national night out where almost over 2,000 people attended. And I don't know if we're keeping track, fellas, Public Safety Open House, October 5th. Do we have an idea of how many people attend? We've gone with our kids over the years, and it's been just great response, I would say.
We have a few hundred people that come through there. I know last year and the year before, also we had the down year with COVID, unfortunately, and we came back with vengeance basically and started just putting more events into it.
Yeah.
And
we obviously don't keep an exact number count when we're doing it, but kind of like National Night Out, it's meant to be a free-flowing time frame of events. We'll have some scheduled things, but other than that, it's kind of a casual come and go as you please, and we always get a really good turnout, but never know the exact numbers, but it's always been pretty well attended.
Sure. So again, we're October 5th, 12 till 3, Public Safety Open House. Anything, and you kind of alluded to it, Sergeant DeVries, anything in particular that is scheduled that day that folks should know about? Hey, I don't want to miss this or that.
It's the fire department, and he could speak to that, schedules a little more specific demonstrations because a lot of their demonstrations involve specialty equipment and usage of tools. Sure. On the police side, a lot of it is just kind of open and come and explore and see what we have to offer. We don't have as many practical demonstrations just by the nature of the tools we use, but there'll be just stuff to do the entire time.
our side, we're based off of, so each year our theme's based off the NFPA Fire Safety Week, and this year it's what is it called? Charge into Fire Safety.
Okay.
Lithium-ion batteries in your house. So we're going to be doing a display over lithium-ion safety, different devices that have them in there. Unfortunately, we can't make one react because it's really dangerous to make one react. It can be explosive and damaging. Yeah. And then we also have a big ropes demonstration we're going to be doing out back at one time slot. But we also have all these stations. We have agility testing type thing. The kids can crawl through mazes and
Sure.
And then they look in all the trucks. That's one of their favorite things to actually get into the fire trucks and ambulances. So
it is really cool to see, again, the reactions from the young people, but it's open for everybody, right? I think that's important.
Oh, yeah.
To say if you're in Muscatine and you don't have a lot of interactions with what these guys do for a living, but you drive by the public safety building and you've always been curious as to like what does it look like on the inside. This is a great opportunity to do that. So it's police, fire, Muscatine County Sheriffs.
Yep.
Anybody else that we're missing in the mix?
Sometimes State Patrol shows up.
Okay.
Sometimes the hospital shows up.
Nice.
It depends on who's available for that day, but
Sure.
mainly it's the Muscatine County entities that are part of the public safety building there.
It's a really good event, and it's coming up soon as you're watching this. Again, Public Safety Open House, Sunday, October 5th, 12 till 3. And I know over the years you've experienced a lot of different weather for this, it seems like. Maybe one year it rained a little bit, but most of the stuff is indoors, right? With the exception of some of the fire stuff that's out back.
There are a couple demonstrations are outside.
Okay.
We got a lot of events inside so you can
Sure.
stay out of the sun. We got a couple of trailers. We have a smoke trailer. We have a sprinkler trailer that people get to actually see a live fire start and go put out. And then you guys have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the things we do will be inside. This year we're trying to kind of emphasize some of the technologies we use,
Nice.
drones, robots,
Yeah.
kind of show the things, like you said, for more than kids to show up, people to understand the investment that we're making in the department and where your tax money and everything's going to and how these tools are used for safety. So a lot of that by nature ends up indoors for us, so I'm not worried about the weather.
It would be interesting to see if over the years, when we talk about people attending this, if anybody attended as a young person and now they're in police work or fire work. I mean,
Yeah,
right?
we've seen it where people have showed up and said they went to the firehouse or the police department for Public Safety Day, and
Awesome.
and they remember as a kid, and now they actually work for us. So
It's outstanding, right?
it just makes you feel older, though.
Every day I feel older. But I do think that's important, and it's a little segue to talk about, Craig, the Fire Explorer program, which you guys have done a great job. And then Jeff, obviously, over the summer, you guys had I'm blanking on what it's called that's out here at MCC, the police, is it the exploratory?
Oh, the Junior Police Academy.
Junior Police Academy, thank you. So Craig, let's start with, and I know maybe isn't your area of expertise, but what I'm getting at is we're always going to need firefighters and police officers. So let's brag about those programs a little bit.
So our Fire Explorer program has actually been really great. I've been interact with those kids before. I do a couple different trainings with those guys.
Sure.
And Michael Fleming is one of our firefighters, and he's actually the one that heads that up. And he took it from 0 to 60, and he got a lot of involvement. These kids that are now between the 14 to 21, and at 18 they can become a firefighter, so they don't make it to necessarily the 21.
Sure.
And a couple of them that are testing and learning to become EMT so they can get hired on and become those, they're getting the skills early on to find out if that's their path they want to go down.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And
Yeah, our Junior Police Academy, there was, Citizens Police Academy way in the past. We actually have, I think, at least one officer that was part of that in the past. Took a hiatus for a number of years. It's come back the last 3 or 4 years as a Junior Police Academy. We don't have anybody necessarily yet that has got under apartment, but I think it's just because it's open from ages 16 to 19, so
Sure.
they're just not there yet. But it's great. It gives them people that are somewhat interested. It gives them a really good snapshot of what we actually deal with, because there's sometimes an unrealistic understanding or expectations, so it gives them really good exposure. Gets them to do things that they didn't think they would even be interested in doing.
Yeah.
So they attend, and so far it's been great feedback, and I think it'll only get better.
And again, what fantastic opportunities, right, for those that might be interested. When I graduated from St. Ambrose and started working on the radio 100 years ago, my dad, again, retired Chicago cop at the time, was not retired, would say, hey, your afternoons are open. You do morning radio, you're off by 11, you should be a firefighter. And I was like, here's the thing, Dad. If I see fire, I'm like, hey, 911, there's a fire here. I don't have that in me. You guys have that, and I respect that, and I get it. I think as I've gotten older and I have helped people in situations, but whatever that is, I don't know if that's something that you guys from an early age were like, this is what I want to do. But it is a tough job is what I'm getting at, and it is not a normal job. And at the end of the day, your hope is to help people if they need it, but then go home safely to your family and friends. But just talk a little bit about that, because these are not your typical day jobs, and what maybe drew you to your roles.
Right. I grew up around it. I was the son of a police officer also. Mom was in EMS, and I kind of fell for it about 20 years ago, and then I kind of came into it as a career about 13. And it's one of those, I have the drive to do it, but there's moments where you still get scared, obviously in your day to day, because there's some interesting people out there that will make you feel that way, but
Sure.
you still just move on. And it's different lifestyle for us. I mean, for our scheduling wise, we're 24-hour shift, where we're there from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. the next day, and we're gone a third of our life at the fire station. And your guys is different on that.
Yeah, we're it's shift work. It's there's dangers with it. There's the stresses, the sleep schedules, all that. But it's a very unique career. My dad's a retired cop, so I was kind of always somewhat around it. Pretty sheltered from all of it, in my opinion, but that's a good thing. But it's such a unique career. It's you don't know what to expect each day. Every day's different. I've only worked here, but a great group of people I work with. Have no hesitation, nothing bothers me coming to work every day, because I know I'm working with a good group of people.
Yeah.
And whatever happens from there, we'll deal with it the best we can. But got a great support system around here.
I'm glad you mentioned that collaboration, and that's kind of what's happening with this, again, public safety open house on October 5th from 12 till 3. Talk a little bit about that. So obviously, what I observe is police and fire and Muscom and sheriff's office and state patrol and whomever else, you work well together. Yeah. But that's important, and that's how you have successful events. So however you want to handle that, just working with each other, and maybe sometimes you play some jokes. I don't know. Again, just I can imagine with some of the personalities, right? Yeah. But just that collaboration between the departments.
Yeah, there's usually traditionally the cops and the firemen always butt heads together in bigger cities and all this, but in Muscatine, we've actually we can show up on a scene together, and we work well together. In my opinion, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah, no, it's
there's
great,
camaraderie for sure.
Yeah.
And
there's that traditional belief that there's people butting heads, but it's never been the case here from what I've recognized.
That's good.
And especially for what it's worth, the sheriff's office as well.
Yeah.
All the guys out on the street, all the investigators, everybody that works together, we all know each other. We all spent time with each other outside of work. So I get that that's a tradition, but in reality, especially around Muscatine, it's never been the case from my experience.
Good.
Same here, yeah. We also all have stressful days, but at the same time, we know that if we need them to help us or they need us to help them, we're both going to help each other out.
It's fantastic. All right, Public Safety Open House, Sunday, October 5th, 12 till 3. Awesome event. Police, fire, Muscom, County Sheriff's Office. I want to make sure we give equal time to everybody. But as someone that has called 911 just a few times, another just stressful job, and I have been fortunate to go on tours and kind of see the Muscom setup, and I don't know how dispatchers do it, guys. There's so many things they have to know. If you've ever listened to a scanner, half the time you're like, I don't know what's going on. Obviously, you guys know, but just let's give some shout out and love to Muscom and
Absolutely.
Anybody else that we should include.
Yeah, Muscom, they deal with what we don't want to deal with. We have a couple cops that used to be down in Muscom before, but they understand it with that. I could never deal with somebody trying to yell at me over a phone and say, why aren't you sending me somebody? Or, dealing with that stress. And they don't see the person. They don't see what's going on. They have to hear it and interpret it. And that takes a lot.
Yeah, they're sometimes, feels like they're overlooked by some people just because, they're faceless. They're behind a phone, behind a screen. They hear the beginning of a stressful incident, but they don't get to see it through like the rest of us do. So we try to work really good with them. For the open house, sometimes they're involved, sometimes they're not. I'm unsure right now this year. So much of it revolves around their staffing and security protocols and things. So they may be open, they may be not. I don't know right now. But if they are, they'll welcome you down. You get to see their setup and their technology. But if not, there's plenty else to do. So.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a really, again, just a really great event that's coming up. If you're watching a Muscatine Moment, again, October 5th, 12 till 3 at the Public Safety Building, which is 5th and Cedar,
Yeah.
right?
So
yeah, I got that right.
312 East 5th.
312 East
You're making
5th.
me second guess now where it is.
Well, I was like, I'm sure
right?
there's
I
an
don't- yeah.
Is this where we go to
I
work?
was thinking
come and go.
there's like an official address, and then I was like, I don't know if I know what the official address is. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Jeff, I just would be remiss if I didn't mention it. And again, I know we're a little bit ways away, but Shop with a Cop is a awesome program that you guys do. I'm assuming it'll be back for 2025, and anything that people should know if they're watching, if they want to support Shop with a Cop.
Yeah, our every year our Muscatine Police Officers Association does our kind of flagship event is our Shop with a Cop, hosted every December. We actually just had a meeting about it recently, looking to switch up the way we do things this year, maybe a little bit, but still same thing where we take children that are in need or deserving of a special interaction and a bit of a shopping spree in town here. It'll happen every year. We have some fundraising efforts out there and about. We're not overly aggressive with it, just because we are the police. We don't want to be knocking on every door or anything, giving people the wrong impression. But we are out there, and that's running every year. We're looking forward to it.
I'll tell you what, it's again a great program, and if you've seen photos as the police and the children are doing the shopping, it's really just a heartwarming thing, and it just talks about another need in the community. And obviously we'd love to get to a point where we're like, hey, we don't need programs like that because people have what they need. But in the meantime, if you're watching and you want to learn more, or as I always say, and sometimes it's in a joking manner, if you have too much money and you don't know what to do with, you want to support a good cause, this is another one of those. And I'll say that because I know it's true and it's worthy of at least knowing about. So anything else we need to mention? Anything else coming up for you guys?
We do have that. We do have the Fill the Boot coming up next month.
Okay.
We'll be doing it. It's a little late this year.
Sure.
There was some scheduling constraints that happened, but next October we'll be out by Hy-Vee and Fairway, and like we normally been. But good to raise money for muscular dystrophy, and it's a tradition that's been going on for 75 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is great. I've had a couple of the stickers in my vehicle.
I've seen you with your sticker.
Sun faded, but yeah, if you see the firefighters looking to fill the boots, please do that. You probably fit a lot in a boot, right?
If you you can pack it down in there pretty well. It gets
good.
still heavy after a while.
I
but
bet it does.
it's not hard to do.
Good. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. Again, for those watching a Muscatine Moment, we've got Public Safety Open House October 5th, 12 till 3. Plan on being there. And then, maybe if there's an opportunity, whether it's Fill the Boot or Shop with a Cop, come back, or volunteer your coworkers to come back, or maybe folks that are watching in the audience that just got to hang out, which is always great. But thank you both. I'm going to give a shout out to Whitney Pena, who is kind of my contact, and then Pat Gingrich, right?
Gingrich, yeah.
Gingrich, yeah, and Chief Hartman, who have been doing a great job getting. I mean, Craig, this isn't hard for you. We know each other, and Jeff,
Yeah.
we know. I mean, but it's still something that I told them before we started. This should be the easiest thing that you do all day, right? Compared to
absolutely.
how tough your jobs can be. So I appreciate what you guys do. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
And for those watching again, October 5th, 12 till 3, go to the Public Safety Open House, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another installment of a Muscatine Moment. Thanks again to Jeremy Ferguson here at MCC. If you're watching and you feel like there's someone or an organization or group that we should talk to, reach out to me on social media, or you could reach out to Jeremy here at MCC or Muscatine Power and Water, and we'll make that happen. So thanks for watching. Take care, and don't miss Public Safety Open House October 5th, 12 till 3. Bye, everybody.